Chocolate Dollar Podcast.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chocolate Dollar Podcast. Tonight we've got Noah.
Hey. Beatboxing Eddie.
Eddie.
No, just kidding. That was Noah. I'm way better. Way better.
Oh, dude.
And myself. I'm Jonathan, in case you were wondering. Alright.
Okay.
Alright. We are grantless tonight.
So we're not
Rest
going to
in
have...
peace, Grant.
So we'll have no pessimism tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even
Fully
though Grant got
accepting.
hit by a bus. But we're still happy because Grant's not around.
Hey, we're just kidding. He's alive and well.
Yeah.
Sadly.
It's got to do school stuff tomorrow, right?
He's
not.
checking in for college and
Yep.
freshman year stuff.
Yep. Have you done that?
Yes.
Ed, tell your story about your stories that you told me for your freshman day orientation. Like with the M&Ms and all that good jazz.
Oh.
Yeah.
How? Okay, so they're herding us around, all the freshman kids, and then they put us in a circle of chairs all facing forward, and we're supposed to wait for a while until we can sign up for our classes. And so we're kind of sitting there, 10 minutes go by, and we're all looking down, looking around, looking at our phones.
Because
And
you
if-
don't want to talk to each other.
Yeah, because you're like, well, we're not going to talk to each other. And so me, Mr. No Smartphone, is like, okay, well, I'll talk to this dude next to me who was from Chicago, and he was really nice, and I liked hanging out with him, and then started being that awkward guy to talk to everyone in the circle because I'm like, I have nothing better to do, and an hour went by, and so it was kind of weird, but I felt like we handled it all right. Then,
Which is funny because in high school, you weren't the one that
No, I didn't talk with anybody. I was like,
rarely the initiator.
Yeah, I was like,
you're
okay.
always kind of the like
laid back
Yeah.
and not
Yeah,
ever
Lay back,
talk to anyone.
If you talk to me, I'll talk to you. But I mean, anyway, so then
Come
I
out
was
of the
telling
shell
him,
a
well,
little
we
bit,
should have
yeah.
done this when it was around lunch, because I mean, at least we could eat then or something instead of just look at each other and
Twiddle
try
your
not.
thumbs.
Yeah, exactly. And then one of the girls was saying, well, they gave us M&Ms on the way in, so all these people start pulling M&Ms out of their bags, and they're like, oh yeah, look at my bag. I didn't have anything. I only remember getting hand sanitizer and a cup. And it's like, okay, well, I can eat the cup.
In the cup and
But thankfully, the hand sanitizer was 67% alcohol. I did have to make a sly little comment about, hey, well, I controlled this, which is probably not the best way to start off college, but so what,
That's how Ed makes friends.
Exactly. So that's how
You don't
I
need
roll.
us anymore.
No. Never
Nope,
did.
see ya.
And we're done.
Well, that's the end. Thank you.
No.
But anyway,
It's funny you make a comment about. Oh, sorry, you had more to your story.
no,
Go
I
ahead.
did not.
You didn't? Really?
He really didn't.
Fill in the
Yeah, I've
gaps.
heard it before. And he did.
Well, you're talking about drinking hand sanitizer as a joke, but this past, I want to say May.
You've done it a lot.
No, actually no. It was
Guzzled
It was
it.
March. It was like
Exactly.
early March. I didn't do anything, but it was like senior game of basketball day, and so we all went to go eat afterwards, and we're at Pizza Ranch.
Yeah.
After like,
I've
we're
never
all-
been to Pizza Ranch.
It's very good. It's
Really?
delicious.
My
Yeah, I mean,
parents said it was like really greasy.
it's
and it's like
well, yeah. You kinda
Maybe
have to
I'm
be in
into
the
that.
mood.
maybe.
You kind of have to be in the mood to
By
eat
the way,
it.
I do
We
kind of
were.
like greasy
it was
pizza.
good.
I'm that guy.
You know what's really good? Sorry, just a second.
Go ahead.
Really good pizza is Mellow Mushroom, downtown Haymarket. It's really
Really?
good. Yeah, it's like right across from the bank.
What
I'll
city?
have to check it out.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh.
Hey.
Yay. Come in here and buy a lot of things because our taxes suck and I don't want to pay sales.
The
Yeah.
economy
Yay.
boosted. Okay, what?
So we're there and we're ready to leave, but parents are all chatting and whatnot. So the kids, which is weird because like generally it's like parents want to leave, but the kids are still chatting. But
Right.
it
Oh, yeah.
completely flipped this time. Anyway, we're there and somebody decided to go ahead and mix together a concoction of Powerade with whatever Coke products they have at the
Ugh.
store and whatnot, and then like just put like a little whipped cream along the top. But then to kick it all off, somebody was like to kind of mess with the other person, didn't think they would actually drink it, put like a drop of hand sanitizer from like a purse-sized hand sanitizer thing into the drink.
Oh, yummy.
And the person looked at the person who put the
So they saw them put the hand
Yeah, they
sanitizer
did.
in.
They looked at it and they're like, And they took a big swig of it.
Oh, yummy.
And
Down the
everybody
drain.
couldn't believe it. And so they just stare at the person waiting for a response. And the person's just sitting there and they're like, not that bad. It tastes pretty good. And then so like 20 other people decide to take a drink. of this
Why?
one
I
drink.
know.
And every single person said, not bad. Like he was, I'm pretty sure it might have been the whipped cream. And they didn't actually taste the hand sanitizer because it was just like
it might have
two
sank to the
little-
bottom
two little
or
splurts.
something.
But it was still, it's just kind of funny the
still.
fact that like hand sanitizer
Yeah.
was put in the drink and people decided to.
Well, don't have to worry about getting sick. It's hand sanitizer. Actually,
Might
I'm not
die
sure if it
from
works.
bacteria.
That would
Syria,
probably
but
not help
getting
your
killed.
immune system.
No, it would. Not. I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm
anybody
not a
got any
scientist.
interesting, funny stories.
No. I live a pretty boring life. Eddie and I start detasseling on Wednesday.
Yay!
Oh, wait.
Shoot us now.
Speaking of shoot us now, you know the last thing Hitler said before he was shot?
What?
I did not see that coming. Just kidding, he shot himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the joke. yeah,
He's committed suicide.
that's-
Rest in peace. Just kidding.
No,
Don't actually.
Don't rest in peace.
You know, I have to admit, I'm kind of one of those guys that every once in a while sees like all the things of the little Facebook ads of shoot de feu and like the things, and I'm wondering like, was he kind of a good guy a little bit? I mean,
Did he have a nice side to him?
I'm the guy that
Who knows?
I'm the guy that wonders that.
That was like 70 years ago.
Exactly.
His family members are probably like, he's all right.
What
Kind
a
of like
guy.
that quote from Jack Sparrow when he's like, in the first movie, they're like, oh, the whole life of piracy, blah, 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 he needs to be hanged. And she's like, well, he just saved my life. And he's like, that doesn't change anything. And he's like, well, that's sure enough to, like, condemn a man. It's like, you know, bad guys can still do good things. Good guys can still do bad things.
Deep, man. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's some deep.
Give me another hit.
noise.
Yeah. I a funny story I wanted to share last podcast, but I didn't because
We killed him.
already had a funny
Yeah.
story at the end of the podcast, and I was
You
just
did.
like,
Oh yeah, because it was. Well, it was. You're at.
it was 2 weeks ago,
yours,
technically,
wasn't
by
it?
this point.
Yeah.
But I figure I'd go ahead and share mine now. Do you know Christopher's back in town?
Yes, I think you mentioned that.
He moved back and went to go help him unload the truck at his new place, and got there kind of late because I was out of town when they were doing stuff, and so just helped him move like a washer and dryer down the basement, and then that was pretty much it. Just kind of hung out for a little while, and then he decided that he would like to take the U-Haul truck back that night. Well, it's like 2:30 in the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And you can do that. You can just go and then you can put the key in a little slot in the front door, and then
Gotcha.
When do you
everything's done.
stop saying late and start saying early?
We'll get into that in a second. And so he was wondering, like, I need a way to get back then. And there was 3 of us guys who were hanging out. It was me, my friend Matt, who I'm pretty sure I've introduced to you guys before, and then Christopher, of course.
Sure.
And I figured, well, the least I can do, since I didn't really do much else before, is, you know, take him back from U-Haul
For
back
ice
to his
cream.
house.
Oh yeah.
So I was like,
Chauffeur
oh, I'll just drive down to U-Haul and then meet you guys there. And they went to go get gas. Words. They went
Got
to go
some
get
gas. Dang,
gas.
bro.
They went to go get gas.
Too dirty
first.
in the morning.
And so I'm just waiting in the U-Haul parking lot. And I turned off my car to save gas, but that looks really suspicious. 2:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
parking lot, sitting behind trucks.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about this before, but that's kind of the time of the morning where the cops are all out looking for evildoers and hooligans and crap.
Well, I mean,
And-
it's Lincoln, Nebraska. There's not a whole lot that.
no, but there's still a lot
I
of
mean,
cops
there's
out.
still, yeah. Yeah.
And so this lady gets pulled over, and she decides to pull into the U-Haul parking lot.
Oh, you were like, oh, gosh dang it.
Yeah, so she gets pulled over because her taillight was out or whatever, and then the cop gets out and walks
That
up,
happened
and
to me
she's like,
once.
"I already knew that it was out. Here's the ticket from the other officer," and they get their things settled and everything, and he's like, "Okay, you can go away," and like it was about 10-20 minutes of this happening and whatnot, and in that time period, a few other officers had kind of come through the parking lot, just kind of scouting stuff out and whatnot. And I'm just like,
Gosh,
hey.
dang it.
But like, neither of the two cops that did come through during this whole whatever was going on, nothing happened. So I was like, oh, okay, so I'm in the clear. I'm good. And so the lady decides, okay, just gonna pull around and then leave the parking lot and whatnot. And the cop like turns on his car and he starts driving and he's like mid yawn and we make eye contact. And I'm just sitting there like, and just kind of
Flew him the
awkwardly
bird.
wave and
No, just kidding.
whatnot. And he's just like, and he drives around the building and I know he's gonna come back. And I'm like,
Right.
gosh, dang it. So then he pulls up behind me and he walks up and he has me unroll the window and I'm like, hi officer, how are you? And he's like, good, what you doing, man? And I'm like, I have a friend who just came back to town from he just moved back and I'm waiting here for them to bring the truck back. They're getting gas right now. The awkward situation is my phone had died, so I couldn't call my friend to prove this.
Oh,
So I'm just there like,
no.
crap. But luckily the cop believed me, like,
Right, yeah.
and everything. He was like, oh, okay, yeah. Do you mind if I check your license really quick? And I'm like, nope, go right ahead. And I gave him the license, and he checked it, and everything was good, and he drove away. But I was just kind of like,
yeah.
That's really awkward.
Both of my cop interactions have been wrong place, wrong time.
What has been your other cop
The
interaction?
first time I got pulled over, just got the license and everything, was going to start doing the paper out with Morgan.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
gosh.
it's 3 o'clock in the morning, early again. And I'm going to the paper out to learn it and whatnot because I'm taking it over from this one guy who's going to show me how to do everything. And we're driving past Pius, which for those of you who don't know what Pius is, that's the local like Catholic private school.
It's kind of
in Lincoln.
It's kind of central Lincoln too.
Kind of centralized. Well,
A little bit east.
Yeah, a little
But it's-
eastern central part.
Yeah.
If that makes any
Anyway.
sense. And it's a 1-lane road going past there, and it's 35. And so I'm going the speed limit, just got the license, making sure I'm obeying all the laws, before I decided to get reckless. And several people had
So
pulled-
about 2 minutes. Nah, just kidding.
So several people pulled out in front of me and started going, like, from the parking lot of Pius, going like 5 miles an hour. And like 2 people were behind me and everything. And I was just kind of creeped out because I'm like, they're going 5 miles an hour. It's 35. They just pulled out of the parking lot at 3 o'clock in the morning. What is going on? So I'm just kind of go with the flow until I start seeing red, white, and blue flashing in the rear view mirror. And the cars in front of me peel off really fast in the other, like, suburban neighborhood things and everything. And the cars behind me pull off really fast. And there's like 3 cop cars. And one pulls off to go chase him over here. And one pulls off to go chase him over here and stuff. And I'm just kind of,
You're like,
just keep going. Just keep
freaking
going.
out.
I've got my goal in mind to turn the radio down a little bit just to make
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
I wasn't disturbing
Yeah.
anything. And so then a cop is behind me. We come to a red light and I stop and nothing's wrong. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm in the clear. As soon as we get across the intersection after the green light, his lights go on. And I'm like, oh, so bad. And being 16, you're not legally supposed to be driving at that time.
late. Yeah.
Unless it's for a job, which I was doing.
Right.
It was a paper route,
Yeah,
and I had a piece
right.
of paper to prove it, but it was just so nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like,
I broke
know
that
what this
law a
looks
lot.
like. Well, and then isn't it when you're 17 like that? It's either 17 or 18 that
17, yeah.
changes, but either way.
I thought I was 17 or drunk as a skunk. Never mind. Keep going.
No, not at all, actually.
Anyway, so then he comes up and he knocks on the door and and I unroll the window and I'm like, hi, officer, how are you? And he's like, good. Do you know why I'm pulling you over, sir? And I said, no, I don't. And he's like, I'm pulling you over for TPing Pius. I'm like, I was? And he's just like, unless you can tell me something else. And I was like, going to the paper route, here's a little pink slip. And it's like, I see your driver's and registration. So I'm like, okay, fine. And I give it to him. Well, I was more cheerful than that. I was being very nice
Right,
to
yeah,
him. And
Yeah,
he
of
went back
course,
to go
yeah.
check it. And he asked me where I went to school. And I said, I'm homeschooled, because
Yeah.
I'm homeschooled. And so then he checks and he comes back and he's like, are you not sure you're not lying to me about where you go to school? And I'm like, absolutely. I'm homeschooled because I have a dual enrollment with East High School. So
Right,
maybe
yeah.
that's why he was kind of wondering. But I
Yeah.
was
Right.
I'm
yeah.
primarily homeschooled. So he gave me back the license and whatnot. And so said, have a nice evening, got back in his car and drove off, and then I just went back and did the paper route. And then it occurred to
Did
me
it go on your record?
that was around like graduation time, so it was like senior prank season.
Oh.
So it was a bunch of seniors who had TP'd Pius, and boy, did they get it good. I came back that same route in the morning. Dude, they had toilet paper over the school building, and
Yeah, it was pretty good.
trees and stuff. But it was just like wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have had a third cop interaction, which you and Grant were with me for that one, but that was when we were filming that video.
Oh, that's right.
With the BB gun and people
yeah.
were just talking.
And so, because we were in like that wooded area behind Lincoln Lutheran, that we always use for filming. And we were filming some laser hands versus laser guns,
which has not come out yet because I have to do the visual effects on it, and I have to figure out how to do that. But anyway, continue on.
But we had the BB gun with us, and apparently somebody saw us, and they were like, they called the police on us, and they like came down, and he was like,
almost in the forest with us, like he was on the bike path, and he almost walked down.
Yeah, and so he's like, what did he say? He was like, excuse me,
we got some calls about a gun,
and we were like, oh crap! And we were all like,
and I grabbed the gun and I walked up to him
crap.
like, it's just a prop. We're shooting a short video.
And he's like, yeah, they're shooting the video with the BB gun and stuff.
Oh gosh!
And then
So when you said they came up really close to me and they would just like walk down the trailer, they drove on.
They
parked
walked
in the parking lot, walked along the trail,
walked down the trail,
stuff, and it was just kind of like we made sure we were really super nice, and stuff, and we just told him like, no, it's a BB gun. We're shooting a short video. Our bad. And then I asked him like, what's the just to kind of give assurance that like, hey, I'll do this next time. I asked him, what's the number we can call so that next time we're doing something like this, we can call and kind of inform you where we're at or whatever. And he gave it to me. I don't remember it, but I'm pretty sure I could just Google it.
Non-emergency.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, that was fun. The only time I've actually been pulled over by a cop was I was driving to my grandparents' house, and I go, I take Cornhusker Highway to like downtown, and I go through downtown straight to. They live by Southwest, so it's a good 30-minute drive.
Yeah.
And so I was going, and I was like, because I was really hungry, and it was dinner time, and I know that my grandma has like the best food ever. So I was like, I was booking it, and I come around the roundabout, and I see the cop, and I was like, I looked down at my speedometer, I was going 40, and it's 25 downtown, and I was like, oh crap. And so he motions me over, because he has this radar gun out, and he motions me over, and I was like, gosh dang it. So I pull over, turn off the music, I'm like, how you doing, sir? He's like, good. Do you have any idea how fast you were going? I was like, yeah, about 40. And he's like, do you know what the speed limit is? And I was like, yeah, 25. He's like, all right, license, registration. So I handed him my stuff, and he's like, all right, one moment. And he goes back to the car, and I was just sitting in my car, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm already late as it is to get there. Yeah. They're probably like, where is Noah? And I had left my phone at home because it was dead. And so I was like, I can't call them to tell them what's going on.
Like, and then you have to explain it when you get there,
and I'm probably going to get a ticket. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I'm going to get a ticket. I was going 15 miles over the speed limit. I am screwed. Yeah. And so he comes back, and he's like, all right, I'm going to just give you a warning, but don't do that next time. And I'm like, thank you.
You got off so
I would have gone to stop class if he would have given me a ticket, because I was going 15 miles over the speed limit. And I was
you're still like in that little window of like, you still can go to stop class.
Right,
for this.
Exactly. And so I was like, all right, thank you, sir. And so I get to my grandparents' house, and they're like, where were you? You're like 30 minutes late. And I was like, yeah, I got pulled over.
Oh, God.
They're like, and my dad's like, oh, shocker.
The thing is, like, your parents are like, I mean, I'm not sure if they were cool with it, but like, from what
they
your
weren't cool with it, but like, my parents were like, my mom got pulled over a week into her, a week after she got her license, and my dad got pulled over the
kind of
day
expected.
After he got his license.
Naturally
and it was like,
so
it was like half a year after I had gotten mine.
Yeah,
so they were like, all right,
that's
fine. Yeah.
See, okay, well, I guess we're doing the pulled over story. So my one pulled over story.
Were you going too slow?
No. Thanks. I was coming home from church, and so it was kind of a long drive, and so I turned on the radio and kind of cranked it up, and you guys know the song Jump by Van Halen.
Oh, yeah.
We were kind of rocking out a little too hardcore, and I said the only way I'm ever going to get a ticket is if I get a ticket for too elaborate dancing while driving. So it was not that. It was not that. I'm still working on that.
Really
But anyway,
pull over. It's like, yeah, you're dancing too elaborately and you're rocking out too hard. You could be driving dangerously. Here's
Yeah,
a ticket.
reckless driving.
hey, just wait.
Negligent.
Give me a year. Anyway.
Gosh.
Anyway,
Okay,
so I'm
A
coming.
year from now, I'm gonna ask
Yeah.
if you got a ticket for.
Anyway, so I needed to get gas, so I swung by the gas station and pull in, and I'm looking around, and all the stalls are full, so I kind of pull off in this other spot, and this cop pulls up behind me, like, what? And then I just kind of turn off my car and sit there, and sure enough, he walks up to me, and he's like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I still, to this day, I'm curious that would I have pulled over? Like, would he have even came to me if I hadn't gone in this gas station? Does he think I knew that he was pulling me over? Because I was rocking out to jump. I wasn't paying attention to what was behind me. So
Yeah.
that being said, the reason why I got pulled over was because there was a chip in my back light, so my light was exposed. Which
okay.
you're not supposed to have, and also my I didn't have the right stickers on my license plate. I needed to get my car registered, which a week earlier, we had registered my car, and my dad gave me my stickers, and he's like, "Yeah, go put these on your license plate." So I put them in the glove compartment. Never did that. And so, when the officer was telling me that I needed to get the stickers on my plates, I was like, "Oh crap! I'm gonna get a ticket." I mean, sure. First time you get pulled over, I'm gonna get a ticket.
Yeah.
So I open up the
you
glove
always think
compartment looking for my like proof of insurance, and I pull it out and I put the stickers on, like they're on like not bobby pinned, whatever. Say,
I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
they're clipped onto the thing, so I just put them on my leg and handed it. And he's like, "Are those the stickers?" And I'm like, I don't know. And he looks at him and he's like, "Yeah, just put these on." It's like, I'm stupid.
That's
So, and then I just went home and threw some duct tape on my car and was good.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
That's.
But speaking of getting stuff renewed, we took a road trip to Denver,
I can't believe this.
and
my gosh.
Jonathan drove the most because it was his mom's van, but I drove probably the second most, I'd say.
Yeah, easily.
And I drove the entire time with an expired license.
God.
And I got home, and the only reason that I knew it was expired is because I went to Liberty the next week for the freshman orientation thing, and I had to get my Flames pass, basically my student ID.
Yeah.
And so I showed them my ID or my driver's license, and they were like, "Oh, this is expired." And I was like, What? And she's like, "Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal. Just like come next time with an actual like renewed driver's license, and it'll be fine." And I'm like, "Okay." So I texted you guys, and I was like, "Hey guys, I was driving with an expired license."
I'm not sure when I got that text. I think I was like waking up in the morning. Pretty sure, because you texted pretty early, didn't you?
Yeah, it was probably about noonish.
Oh, I was probably up before then.
Oh,
And I don't know.
anyway.
It could have been a day where I just decided to sleep in that one.
Probably, yeah.
Either way, I remember like I was confused. I was preoccupied with something else. Read that text, and I was just like, oh. And then later, I went back and looked at it, and I was like, holy crap. Are you serious?
If we would have been pulled over, it would have been bad.
Golly,
Not driving.
so
it wasn't
happy.
my van.
Yeah.
I mean, technically,
There
we
was
had
a
the
sheet of
paper that said that I could
"Here's your
drive
permission,"
it.
which-
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a
All
second.
right.
But
We should all just. He stole it. He stole it.
no, okay.
He's holding us
So,
for ransom.
you know how the piece of paper had all of our names, including Morgan's?
Yeah.
And that was why we kind of had said, like, okay, we'll go ahead and let Morgan drive this, like,
right.
on the way home. Just to provide context for
He
people
has more
listening.
highway experience than I do.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, because
Let me drive.
he lives in Columbus, Nebraska, which is roughly like an hour and a half, 2 hours from Lincoln, Nebraska. And he comes, most of his friends, I'm not going to claim that all of his friends live in Lincoln. Most of them I know for sure live in Lincoln. So he drives back to Lincoln very often to
See ya. Yeah.
to
No,
hang out with
shut
us.
up.
Well, with
And-
his friends. Never.
And then
I hate you.
so we were like, well, he's got the most common, experience on the highway than
Yeah.
any of us. And, I mean, I drove a lot on the highway doing our trip before that, but either way, so we were like, okay, let's just go ahead and let him. He was the youngest, and so we were like, well, all the 18-year-olds are going to drive on
Yeah.
the trip, and so we saw that mom had put permission for him to drive too. So we're like, oh, okay, we'll go ahead and do it too.
Might as well let him get a little bit of time, yeah.
So we can say everybody got to drive. Well, then my mom found out. She was like, I put that there in case he absolutely needed to. And we were like, well, if you would have specified on that piece of paper, and in the event that no one else can, Morgan. And then, so, yeah, that was kind of an awkward conversation to have with Mom.
Like, sorry, Mom.
Yeah, it worked though. We were all right. So, Eddie, tell us a little bit about Oakley. I mean, if you don't want to, that's cool. Don't worry about it.
We're not talking about Oakley. Okay, I like dogs that are like portable pillows. Those of you who have portable pillow-like dogs know what I'm talking about. It's like, hey, fatty, come lay here. Yes. Yeah, pet, snuggle, go run, like take the dog for a walk, and he's the kind of dog that's like,
so like a bulldog type dog?
Fat dog. I love fat, lazy. My friend had a wiener dog that we always were like, oh, it's a broad dog. 'Cause it was fat. Zoe, favorite dog ever. And then to top it off, I go down to visit my cousins one time. They have a wiener dog named Noodle. Best name ever. And Noodle's like snuggling with me during the night. And I'm like, oh, yeah, dogs, yeah. So we get a dog, Oakley. And Oakley is
a sweet dog, by the way.
I love Oakley.
Freaking moron.
He's a husky,
if he doesn't get his way, he pees. He digs under the fence all the time.
That's what he does.
I like bop his nose to make him stop doing things and grab it, and he whines and complains, and my sisters are like, stop it. And then he'll go and like, he's not supposed to be in the hallway, and then he always runs in the hallway, and we're like, and I tell my sisters, why are you letting him in the hallway? And they're like, oh, well, I mean, he came. I didn't let him in. He just came this way. And I'm like, well, you're not doing anything about it. Hit the dog. And so I was trying to teach my sisters how to
abuse the animal,
punish the dog. And I'm like,
this
okay,
podcast sponsored by PETA.
Exactly. I'm trying to teach my little sister how to punish the dog, so it's not just like every time the dog sees me, it's like, I'm gonna get killed, which I don't mind. But so
the aggressive, abusive alpha male is dead.
He does know I'm the alpha male now. Ears go down. Head's in the room. Anyway,
he's just like, oh my gosh, it's Ed.
But when I'm trying to teach my sister how to punish the dog when he's does bad stuff, so grab his snout and whack him. So
not hard, but firmly.
But the thing is, okay. At first, yeah, I probably did the same thing. I'd grab his nose or something and whack him, and then I'd let him go, and he'd perk up and go, it was like just the same as this like let's go play face. So there's nothing that ticks me off more than seeing like, hey, you're supposed to be sad. So I will admit, the little wrestler came out in me, and it was just like, beat your teeth back into your brain kind of thing. So that now Oakley knows that, like, if I say anything after he's done punishing me, I will get twice as bad afterward. So my dog hates me. I hate my dog. So I guess that's good. It's the same.
Got the mutual respect of hate. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's such a good dog, though. I love Oakley.
Yeah. Take him. I will literally cut him in half and give you each a half.
That is no fun.
But then
again, this is sponsored by PETA.
I hate that dog.
You just hate animals in general, like the Planet of the Apes movies.
We're not talking about that.
Do you like Skippy? Like, do you mind him at all?
Skippy's all right.
What about Jake?
Jake's all right.
Yeah.
They seem like they're trained. Hear that, Oakley?
No.
I think that's your problem.
We're trying to train Oakley, and
how old is he?
2.
See, Jake was not trained at 2. Jake still isn't completely trained. He still is crazy sometimes.
Okay, Oakley can open up the gate. He can open up doors. He can dig under fences.
He's ornery, I'll give you that. But I think you're gonna. Okay,
that's why I'm going to college. Not for the education.
To get away
not
from
for
your
anything.
dog.
To get away from my dog.
Wow. All right.
He'll probably be this perfect little angel.
Oh my gosh. You need some tender love and care. TLC. Pretty young thing. I want to love you. Be what you.
I'm so sorry, Eddie. I feel
every
so
once in a while
bad.
I get the like, well, this will help you with parenting, and it's like, no. If I'm having kids, I have a wife I'm not gonna be home. Okay, that's kind of mean, but
No, I think to an extent, like
I don't
not
think-
not perfectly. Raising a dog is not the same as raising a human child.
Yeah.
You have like a love and compassion for your child,
Yeah. You're not
not
gonna
a dog
beat
that
it.
you just bought. So
I spent $130.
You personally spent
We're done
100
with this.
Okay.
sorry.
I personally spent $130 on him. That was my excuse not to feed him, walk him, do anything.
Upset.
how much was the dog total?
Well, $130.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
He spent. He
So he is
paid
your
for all
dog.
of it.
I'm so okay.
Don't say
Moving
that.
on. So
Don't say
sorry.
that one.
I'm so I can't apologize enough. All right. What else?
I don't know. Because we're gonna bleep some of that stuff.
That fish reminds me that when we had fish, I didn't mind that at all. I like the fish.
Okay. Do you think you would prefer a cat over a dog?
No. Oh my gosh. Cats
I
are
agree.
awful.
I mean,
Okay,
like,
I
don't
used
think
to
cats are
really
awful,
like-
but I definitely prefer dogs.
I've heard that cats can be really awful and stuff, but okay, Zoe's my picture perfect dog. My picture perfect cat was Midnight, which was my friend Adam's cat, which Midnight was not always there. It's not like she'd be your pillow or anything. Midnight was more I remember hearing Adam talk how sometimes Midnight would leave for 4 days and come back, eat her food and go do other things. Though I might just like Midnight because Midnight did do a backflip and catch a dragonfly right in front of my eyes.
Wow, that's pretty
Kinda
pro.
don't forget that.
No.
I was a kid and it's like being scarred except not bad.
It's awesome.
It's just like imprinted like this cat is awesome
Yeah.
and I just always loved Midnight.
Well, the thing with cats is like, if a cat attacks a human, it's like, typical cat. But when a dog attacks a human, it's like, put it down. It's out of control. It's like,
Your
they're
stereotype.
devils.
Yeah.
They're little devils. They're
But
just
thankfully,
little
I
packed in
think
fur
we've got to the stage of our
devils.
life where this is demonic. You're gonna be like, you hate animals again, but you're at that stage where you can kind of feel it and like, its legs are weak enough, I can break them.
you feel the dominance, whereas a little kid, you're just like, I can't touch
Fear.
an animal.
Yeah,
where
it's-
when I wrestle. Let's not talk about Oakley.
Okay.
What's something other than animals that we can talk about?
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Hey, that's coming out Friday. You gonna come
yeah.
see it with me?
Yeah, I will.
I know.
Let's do it.
Gary Oldman, dude. I
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
Gary Oldman's a great actor.
I do like horses in
Keep him-
terms of cavalry.
And
Yeah.
they ride the horses, and then they attack the humans.
Yeah.
To give you some like interest in this,
No,
at least it's not
Planet of the Apes.
Ed has this overgrown sense of human dominance over animals. He's like, kill them all.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's funny because like Ed's one of the most loving people you'll ever
he
meet.
really is, but,
But
he
he
just
just-
does not
animals
like
are the-
animals. Oh my gosh.
Human supremacy. Oh yeah.
Indeed.
Eddie's rage like responses are pretty awesome. I'm not gonna
See,
lie.
haven't we said this before? I'm the short fuse but small explosion.
Yeah.
Ed's like the long fuse big explosion. Isn't
Yeah.
that what we've said before?
Yeah.
Actually, every
Well, I don't
time
think
we've
we
talked
actually
about
even
this,
got
we
to-
never got to me, so
Yeah,
I
like,
was
we-
fine with
oh,
this.
yeah.
Grant has the biggest explosion, which is true. I mean, to an extent.
He probably has the longest. No, you
has
probably the longest fuse. You or Grant have the longer fuses.
Shall we measure?
no.
Go away.
No, yeah, I think that
I think
Eddie's
I have a
probably the-
really long fuse with small bombs attached in between,
it's just like little firecrackers.
where it's just like,
No, Eddie's the firecracker where he's gonna go
Yeah.
off quick but then be done.
Yeah.
Go off quick and then be done. Go off quick and be done.
But that's kind of me too.
but that's
But
my
I-
you don't
secret.
get.
I'm always
I
angry.
think okay, you're more of a firecracker than Eddie is because you do get mad a lot more.
I get a lot. Yeah.
You get mad the most out of all of us.
Probably.
Not to an extent to where you're a terrible person.
Right.
but
No, it's just like I'm just like, gosh dang it.
we wouldn't hang out with you if you're that type of
Right,
person.
yeah.
Does this build up for a bad cracker joke?
Ed's the bleep out every other phrase he says guy. It's like, really? All right. Well, there's another
No,
bleep.
No, it's yeah.
Gosh.
Dirty Eddie. Okay.
To be fair though, like most of the podcasts we've uploaded, most of the stuff I've had to cut out was stuff that I was like, we don't really want to hear that discussion, and it was Eddie and Grant. Always.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, why were you pointing a finger at me? I've never
thought-
said
I thought it
anything
was-
explicit.
I thought he was leading up
Well,
to something.
and to be fair, Eddie has never really said. maybe he said stuff that could get us the explicit tag, but it's not like stuff that is like terrible. Not all
doubt
the time.
he could. I
Grant
doubt.
and I pal around.
I doubt he said anything that could get us an explicit tag.
True.
There's.
Well, yeah.
I doubt he said anything.
So you
along
just
those
think of a
lines.
dirty topic and picture like Grant and I dancing around it. That's
It's actually a great analogy for it.
skirt,
Yeah.
skirt, tiptoe, skirt.
Yeah, that's a pretty good analogy.
Yeah,
Actually.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Gosh, I had something I was gonna say.
I don't know.
Completely forgot.
Can't read your mind. Sorry.
I know. Oh, hey, 4th of July was
Used
this
to be
past.
able to.
We were talking about fireworks. 4th
Bang,
of
bang.
July was recently.
No, don't shut down, console.
don't shut down console.
Noah's currently downloading a Injustice skin pack.
Something. Yeah, I don't even know.
It's a DLG.
You download characters and then you download alternate costumes for different characters, and it was
Yeah, I
his
was
Xbox was
downloading a
about to
couple of
shut
those.
off, and
Yeah. Stop
Noah was
it.
like, "No." Anyway,
Stop
yeah,
that.
4th of July. How was your guys' 4th of July?
Pretty low key, actually. I shot off some fireworks at my grandparents' house. They live pretty far south. So
Are these the same grandparents you were going to when you got pulled over?
No, they're a different pair.
The different pair.
These are my mom's parents. And then after that, my sister spent the night, so I went home with mom and dad, and we watched Skyfall.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, always gotta love some good James Bondage.
Mhm.
Not seen that,
James Bond.
but it's cool.
You haven't seen Skyfall?
I've not.
It's a great movie.
Oh,
I haven't seen
It's on Netflix.
the
I can
second
log into
Spider-Man
Netflix. We can
of the
watch it
new
tonight.
ones.
Nope.
Haven't seen that one.
Great. What about you, Ed?
For 4th of July, I went up to Seward,
Which is
Nebraska's 4th of July
Yeah.
city.
It is like pretty big 4th of July. Well,
And-
the hype is anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about the. I don't
And
know, I've
actually,
never been
the
there.
fireworks show, I remember waiting. We got there at like 9:50, and there was a lot of people there because the show started at 10. And so at 10, they like sent up a few, and it started going. And it they like sent up a few, and it was general start. And then they had this one that was kind of cool that it like came off the ground. It looked like I don't know. It looked like they pretty much exploded one, and then it just shot up from the ground. I thought it was really cool, but everyone was like, oh. And then a few more, and then another one did that, and we realized that that's literally all that it was doing. One was they had some misfiring on the ground and blowing up, so then the show stopped for like 10, 15 minutes, and there was some smoke, but we couldn't tell if it was just like
Forest fire!
yeah, if it was like forest fire or just smoke because they're
Fireworks.
yeah, they're stuff. So then we just waited for a while, and then they started the show again, and it wasn't the longest show, but we weren't sure if it was like they burnt down the whole thing and had to fly to Tokyo and bring back some illegal ones or something. We didn't know. We
Yeah.
didn't really blame them, but
Yeah.
this is a
There's-
quick question. Do you guys prefer bigger or louder?
Bigger.
Louder.
Louder.
I'm not about the loud. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but it's like I have Jake, and he doesn't like loud
Yeah,
noises,
no,
and I don't like
Skippy
being.
doesn't either.
Yeah, I don't
That's my
like
dog.
being like responsible for him when he's like it's loud.
Yeah.
We
That makes
generally we're not sure if this works, but we put our dog in the basement. And we just turn the TV on and I play
that's
music
what we
from my
did for
computer.
Jake, but
we don't
still,
this year we didn't trap him down there because we kind of felt bad for doing that. But we just
Jake
we
just
put-
goes down there willingly. It's
Yeah.
like okay.
Skippy does too. I'm not sure if it was this 4th of July or another one, but I saw a video on Facebook that somebody had shared, and I think it was like some southern part of the country. I'm not sure, whatever. Might have been Florida, but there was a fireworks show where the computer that was supposed to trigger everything, which I'm not sure how you get computers into fireworks show. I mean, there's probably a way. I'm not sure how you do it. I'm not a pyrotechnic, but the computer had malfunctioned, and all 7,000 fireworks went off at the same time. And so it's just 30 seconds of this massive explosion happening, and there's just smoke everywhere, and this guy's videoing it. It's just it looks like a fireball, and it looks like daytime outside.
Oh my
It's just
gosh. Did they go up at all?
Yeah, they were all artillery shells and those the big fountains that they have for the
Right,
shows
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. But it was it all went off pretty much one went off and triggered all the others, and so it's just 30 seconds of what should have been a 20-minute show.
Oh
And it's
my
just-
gosh.
Afterwards, nobody was complaining. Everybody was that was cool. Like you can hear the guy in the background like, this is awesome.
Like the kid from The Incredibles. That was totally wicked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked really cool, but it was just so funny.
Yeah.
It was, oh my word. Do you guys like what's the like closest to death you've come with fireworks? Or
I really
haven't. Worst like
Same
firework malfunction.
I maybe burned my hand a couple times,
Wow.
but
I don't even think I've done that.
It's weird because I'd like to think that our family is a pretty safe family when it comes to fireworks, but we've had like the past 7 years have had close calls with a firework.
Really?
Not necessarily close calls, more like just malfunctions or like not expected or anything. Like 3 years ago, actually, we went to. My grandma was sick, and it was when she had passed away, stuff. And so we went down to spend 4th of July because we were pretty sure that might have been her last year that we would have been able to do it. And so generally, we go to Waverly, Nebraska, with my with my brother-in-law and his family and our family, do stuff and whatnot. But this year we decided to go up to Grandma and Grandpa's, and they had like these little, you know what ground flowers are, right?
Yeah.
They had like mini ones that did stuff and then like shot off and flew away.
Oh yeah.
And stuff. And I'm standing in the garage just watching, chilling, and it zips and almost nails me in the crotch, but I like block it with my hand, but it hits my thumb, and so I can't feel my thumb for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
That's probably the closest call I've had, like to personal
Right,
injury.
yeah.
But this year we had my brother-in-law. We did our Waverly thing like we normally do, and he had a artillery shell that forgot it was supposed to shoot into the air, so it's just in the tube, and it just exploded, went up and out the tube, and we're just like, oh well, that was neat.
Yeah.
It was just like, for some reason, the past 7 years, like the fireworks we get are either like faulty or
Yeah.
something
Well,
like that.
I haven't had like any injury really, but I've been like close to setting stuff on fire. Like last year, I was out at Caleb Whitwer's, and we had
Friend of
one of my friends, our friends, and we had a like a rocket. It's supposed to go into the air and then like kind of just explode. It's kind of like a artillery shell itself. It just launches itself, and then it's kind of cool. But
the Columbus Space Shuttle.
no,
That's why I didn't go next.
cool. But we strapped kind of Toy Story-esque. We strapped
Nice.
a Batman figurine to it, and so we had it set up and we lit it, and all of a sudden, as soon as it started to like rocket, it fell over and launched itself into the neighbor's tree and blew up, and we were like, oh my gosh. And so we ran over and we were like, okay, nothing's on fire. And it was pretty dry last year.
Oh,
like
yeah, it was. It was blazing
and
hot,
we were
too.
like, crap, that was close.
Yeah, you
it
should
just
have gotten in big trouble with that.
and like Batman was just like melted. It was awesome.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My family's never really bought fireworks.
Yeah,
I'm one of those families that
I don't really buy fireworks.
not that we
myself either.
mooch, but if we set off anything, it's generally like, well, Ed goes to someone's friend's house.
Yeah,
My
that's
sisters go
smart.
somewhere
Right,
else,
yeah.
and then
Smart,
we
'cause
just kind of.
I have bought my own fireworks the past couple of years, and I don't necessarily like it. Like I like the result of my money being blown up. That's essentially
Yeah.
what it is.
But it's like,
But I hate that it's that's my money. That's,
Yeah.
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 And so I think next year I'm probably not going to buy very many,
That's-
if any at all. Like
my grandpa this year just gave me like $25, and I was like, that's
I might
plenty.
get- I might
Like,
get
I
like
don't
an-
like spending money.
I might get like a nice, legit artillery shell thing instead of like your half-hearted artillery shells that shoot.
Like some people like spend like
Thousands of dollars.
700, yeah, like
Thousands?
thousands of dollars. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The basketball team that I played for last year, I can't play for them. Well, I probably could, but either way, they do a fireworks stand to raise funds and stuff. And there's a guy who came, and we have the most expensive thing we're selling is $99.99, so $100.
Right.
And he walks, grabs one, buys it, leaves. Comes back a couple hours later, grabs two more, buys it, leaves. Comes back later and gets more stuff and then leaves.
So does that mean they worked?
I don't know. But it's just like, so that's about $300 on those three things right there. And then he buys like $100 worth of other crap.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
And it's just like, yeah.
Wow.
And then the nice thought of thinking about like all the city's fireworks shows, tax dollars.
Yeah.
It's just, well, all
All
right.
right.
Or private donations. but that's a different story. Anyway, really quick, I would like to say there was one like big firework thing that someone had bought in Seward that they just put out in the street and lit up, and it was going. And I remember that rarely do I think like I see a firework and I'm like, wow, that one was really worth the money, but I'm not sure how much they paid for whatever this one was, but that thing went on for a pretty long time, and they were fairly legit fireworks.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they paid like $200 for it, then I'd be like, it was really awesome, but that was only like 5 minutes of a show for $200.
There was my brother-in-law and his family. They're the type that are like fireworks all the way. Like they actually legitimately think about like they're probably currently putting away a little bit of like tiny bits of cash that they're going to use next 4th of July, which is probably smarter to do than just straight up spending the money that you get at that time. But they don't go all out, but they definitely get a lot of very quality fireworks. And he got something this year that was like kind of diamond shape, and it set on the ground, and it was like it went back and forth like that. And it went on for like a good 10 minutes, and it was like that was our grand finale that we did, and it was like that was cool.
Yeah.
And there's actually a firework that I saw at another one that was called the grand finale, and it looked like it was a big box rigged with artillery shells and fountains and just different stuff. So kind of like your grand finale from your fireworks show, but for personal use. I don't know. They look cool.
This is confetti, not fireworks, but in Halo, when you snipe a grunt in the head and have that thing on, and you get the
Grunt birthday party.
Exactly. Hey! This is totally changing topics, but I really like that.
That's Ed's favorite part of the game. He always goes for headshots.
With the rocket launcher.
Yeah.
That is super fun when it's like grunt headshot with a rocket launcher birthday party.
One time I got a shotgun and I got it and I was like, wow, that's really impressive.
Okay. Since we're on the gaming headshot thing, so I was playing regular Black Ops Zombies, Kino der Toten, with my friend John, not this John, another one. And
his name is actually John, not Jonathan.
Yeah.
So
weirdo. Anyway, so I think I had the Dragnov. Is that a sniper you can get?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That so I grabbed that in Zombies. Not the best, but I'm kind of.
Did you get it at a fire
mystery box?
Mystery box, yeah.
So I'm kind of infamous for my no scopes. So John was like, "Oh, you gonna no scope people?" And so he had a crawler coming after him. He was like, "No scope this," and so I shot and missed and was like, "Ah." So then I was just running around. Then I just no scoped headshot this thing. And from like he's on the stage and I'm like running towards the stage, but kind of like halfway there.
Yeah.
And we just both kind of stopped, and I was like, did I just headshot that thing? And I suck. I got down 20 times in that game. But that's why I play with John, because he helps me up. So.
And you got to round 19?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which, for anybody playing with me, that's good.
Yeah.
So,
I remember
when the highest we got when we were doing like our gaming.
26.
Yeah,
I want to say 26 or 27.
Almost 30. Almost 30, I'm pretty sure. Like we were so like we had it.
It was
we were
the
like,
four of us too, right?
And then we all got cornered. Yeah.
Is there an end to the game? I think
no.
There's
like
not.
the little like leaderboard counter stops once he gets to level 99. It's like you're gonna have like 100,000 people that are like.
What even happens after like 30, 40?
There's just a lot. Yeah. The thing is, like,
going.
After a while,
horde mode is you can
there's
never
only
defeat it.
so many that can be at like with you at a certain time. You can't have like 500 in the map at once,
which I'm thankful for.
Yeah. So like you'll kill a couple zombies and then more will spawn in to take their place. So it's like.
So kind of if you figure it out and can it get at least that good, then you can.
It's more like time consuming the longer you go.
Yeah.
Than like difficult.
Oh, like word. Yeah. It's just like how much.
Well, seriously,
how much
like
can you focus?
It was probably like 3 hours it took us to get to that far. You know?
Yeah, I'm gonna brag about this though. Like one time I was bored. I called Grant and I was like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" He's like, "I can't." I was like, "Okay." Called you. It's like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" And you're like, "I can't." I was like, "Okay." And I called Ed. And he's like, "I can't." And
I
I'm
didn't have a phone. No, I don't know.
And so I was just like, "Well." Okay,
Looks like I'm by myself.
Really into Black Ops.
Yeah,
so
that
I
was
went ahead and popped it in. And I was like just playing online a little bit, and then I thought about it. And I'm like, I'm gonna try zombies on my own. I'm gonna try solo. First try, got to round 20. on my own.
Hey,
That's pretty good.
That's pretty impressive on your
I
own.
was
That's
so-
pretty impressive.
Told Grant, and he was like, interesting. He came back to me later. He's like, I bowed to your numbers. I tried on my own and I only got to 15. I was like, all right.
That's,
sweet.
hey,
So-
coming
is
from
pretty
Grant,
impressive.
that's good.
Yeah.
Because the first time I played it, I think the very first time I played Kino for Black Ops, I think I got to like 7,
yeah.
round 7. I was like,
it was definitely.
I don't understand. Why do you do this? Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I remember that when I was playing with John most recently, I would get down so quick, and then I'd be like, oh, what is this going on? That it seemed like a lot of guys were coming for me, but then there'd be some rounds where I would kill like 10 guys, and I was fine, and John's like, yeah, you're doing better, you're not getting down, and then I'd like run over to the stage where he always was, and he'd be like chased by so many guys.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't watch his screen enough to see whether he was training them, but to me it kind of just looked like he was running he might have been training them.
Grant and my strategy is just like run figure eights throughout the map and get a train going that way.
You don't want to run into each other's train, though. That's when you
that's
get
the thing,
into
is we run
trouble.
together. Like, because when there's one coming at us, I'll take care of it, and then Grant will slowly pick off the ones behind us a little bit, and we'll just keep going figure eights.
John was
through it.
probably trying to train it, except it was like train, revive it, revive it.
Train,
Yeah.
revive it.
My biggest problem was like when they're in front of you, you can't move around them. I know that sounds so stupid, but when I'm playing the game and I'm getting jittery, if there's a guy next to me, I just try to run by him. And since you can't run by him, I get down so often.
No, it's
But for
hard.
me, I
Like, you
just
gotta
need like the push by them like thing,
It's-
and then I level 99. Here it comes.
yeah, that it was just that I don't know. It's just that game mode is so. Yeah, we're probably gonna wrap up in like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever. The thing about that
3.
game mode, it's really cool though, because it's just like after so long, you just kind of start to psych yourself out a little bit, and so you're kind of playing against your own mental state at that point. But
What if they had that except Dead Space fighting against those yucky things?
the Necromorphs,
The Necromorphs, yeah.
that'd be interesting.
Or against
Necromorph mode instead of zombie mode.
Oh.
Yeah.
like on Saints Row.
Okay, anyway. All right, cool.
That was-
awesome.
gosh.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to the Chocolate Dollar Podcast. We're going to go ahead and conclude this episode. Tune in next week. We're going to have
A
Hopefully it'll be next week.
zombies
We're gonna speaking of zombies, we're gonna have an interesting discussion. Hopefully you guys can
with Grant.
Grant will be here.
Hopefully
Stuff.
we're not busy with detasseling.
And for those of you who don't know who that is, that's neutering corn. Literally, look it up.
It sucks. We have to get up at like 4 in the morning.
But we get
I'll be sleeping.
money.
in the bank.
Yeah.
Money in the bank.
What?
And then like
Ed Merrill, peace out.
A couple weeks. Okay. couple weeks from now, we're gonna look at getting a few of our friends to kind of guest on a couple episodes, like Christopher, the other people. So I guess we'll go ahead and end this episode with plugging some stuff. I'm on Twitter at @thej_96. Noah is.
Yeah, we're all on Twitter. Just figure it out. Follow us. Listen to
Noah
other
and Ed are both
podcasts.
of their names. You'll
You'll
get
find
it.
us.
Find the YouTube channel Scene29. Currently still only have one video, but we're getting more. And
Yeah, Jonathan will just edit them.
Yeah. Subscribe to this podcast on iTunes if it's your first time, and thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye.